watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
I'm Tosin Fakile. A new era begins for the Washington Commanders. They're going home to DC, to the site when during their time there won 3 Super Bowls.
And DC Mayor Muriel Bowser announcing a multi-billion-dollar deal to revitalize the RFK Stadium location and bring the Commanders back to the district.
We have team coverage this afternoon. DC News Now's Max Marcilla and Liberty Simmons have reaction from people around the DMV.
But first, let's go to DC News Now's Marielle Carbone. She covered the announcement this morning. Marielle, big news today, but how big a deal is this for the district?
Certainly a huge deal, Mark. The mayor really calling this a homecoming for DC's football team after nearly 30 years. Now, if all goes to plan, this will be the largest private investment for a DC project in the city's history.
So I want to start by saying, welcome home.
In a room full of cheering supporters, Mayor Muriel Bowser, team owner Josh Harris, and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announcing a deal to build a brand new NFL stadium at the old RFK Stadium site in Ward 7.
This land has been blighted and underutilized for too long.
The covered stadium will include 65,000 seats and 8,000 parking spaces. Of the nearly 180-acre site, it'll only take up about 15% of the space. Other development includes 5,000 to 6,000 homes, 30% of which will be affordable units, a sportsplex, a festival plaza, and more.
This will be a tremendous economic driver.
The plan comes at a cost of nearly $4 billion, $2.7 billion invested by the Commanders. The district carrying the rest, using $500 million from the existing ballpark fee, formerly used to pay off Nats Park.
In an investment that is going to create like billions of tax revenue, thousands of jobs.
Despite criticism, the mayor calling this a win for DC's future.
If you need to add revenue, as we do, you can't leave 180 acres vacant. If you need to add jobs, as we do, you cannot wait for an anchor to show up to start developing.
And at this point, this is just a proposed deal. It still needs to be voted on by City Council and needs 7 council members to vote yes on this. We know some council members like Chairman Phil Mendelson have already expressed their concerns about it. Now, Mark and Tosin, if all goes to plan, the goal is to have the stadium open and running for the 2030 season. Reporting live from RFK Stadium, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Hey, Marielle, thank you. Really major news. Right now, we're going to go to DC News Now's Max Marcilla, who's joining us outside of Nats Park. Now, Max, that is a good place to find diehard fans, sports fans, hear how they're feeling as well.
But, Max, also a spot to see a similar transformation in the district centered around a stadium.
Yeah, because Mark and Tosin, look, the mayor brought up the Capitol Riverfront area that essentially boomed after Nats Park was brought here in 2008 with thousands of units of housing being built. Of course, nearly 100 bars and restaurants, all centered around Nationals Park. And that's what the mayor and Commanders president and owner are hoping can be brought to the RFK site. This, of course, not only, as you mentioned, a good place to kind of get a sense of what the district officials are hoping can be brought to RFK, but also a good place to find people who have a favorite baseball team that plays here and are hoping that their favorite football team will play not so far away in the old home of glory for the Commanders and the Washington football franchise. Here's what some of them had to say.
It's just awesome that space is sort of sacred to fans like me.
I think it's a prime spot because you got the Metro right there.
We heard from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, who said the odds dramatically increased for a Super Bowl to come to DC if this plan were again to go through. Marielle Carbone laid out some of the hurdles it still has to face, including the DC City Council. But fans here may be a little concerned about ticket prices, but otherwise seem to be very, very pleased at the thought of the Washington Commanders actually playing in Washington. Reporting live in Southeast at Nats Park, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
All right, Max, thank you. And still ahead, while D.C. is gaining a team, Maryland is losing one. DC News Now's Liberty Simmons spoke to state and county leaders. She will have that story coming up in about 10 minutes. And to stay up to date on Washington Commanders, you can head to our website, dcnewsnow.com. Well, let's head over now to meteorologist Damon Matson for a first look at our forecast. And Tosin, this news broke just before the noon hour, and the sun was shining.
It felt like a sign.
So I'm just saying.
It felt like a sign. Sunshine on this beautiful day. I mean, Damon, we love to see the sun. We really do. And these temperatures, not so bad either.
I said it earlier on. I think the weather matched the energy of that exciting announcement, right? So what a way to kick off this new week. Not just with that announcement, but hey, sunshine on a Monday, always great as well. And the sunshine has made a difference because this is where we started out this morning. It was chilly in parts of the DMV with temperatures down into the 30s and 40s. DC held on to its little bubble there, staying right around 50. That was definitely the exception, but now everybody has leveled off at a very warm pace here with temperatures across the board in the 70s. That sunshine made all the difference in boosting us right back to these very warm readings that we are continuing to enjoy as we roll on here into the late afternoon and early evenings. So nothing to worry about. It's going to stay downright gorgeous the rest of the day. There will be a few clouds trickling back in, but otherwise we hold on to fairly warm temperatures. And though it is going to cool off as we head into the night, we're not cooling off quite as quickly as we did last night, which is a sign that this warmth is going to continue into Tuesday. Now, we hold on to the warm temperatures, but when could some showers and storms be returning to the mix? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. We'll check in with you then. Developing now, Virginia Congressman Gerry Connolly announcing today he's stepping down as the top Democrat on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. In a statement on X, Connolly says his esophagus cancer has returned. He was diagnosed last year. The congressman will also not seek re-election. His term ends January 2027.
An update this afternoon. Prince William County investigators releasing the name of the man shot and killed by police over the weekend. Investigators say Joseph Anthony Cassell was holding a knife when they shot and killed him inside of a nursing home. It happened Saturday at the Westminster at Lake Ridge Senior Living Home in Woodbridge. Police shot Cassell when they said that he attacked a 91-year-old woman. Police say that that woman was his grandmother. She was also wounded by gunfire. Police that fired their weapons are on leave.
3 men are recovering after being shot Sunday night in Alexandria. Investigators say 15 shots were fired in a residential area on the 3800 block of Old Dominion Boulevard and Nota Bean Drive. Police are still searching for the suspect or suspects in the shooting. Some who live there still feeling a sense of unease.
Of course you're concerned, but because I feel it was gang related. It wasn't a random thing. Alexandria police need to have a more active presence over here is what they need to do.
There's no word on the condition of those men. This investigation is ongoing.
Well, the Smithsonian is disputing claims that it is removing some artifacts from its African American History Museum because of an executive order from President Trump. Instead, the Smithsonian says that the artifacts will not be on display because of the end of their routine loan agreements. Pastor Reverend Dr. Amos Brown told us that he received an email this month that his artifacts were being returned. Those include a Bible he had when he demonstrated with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He says the Smithsonian sent him the book for repair, but that the Smithsonian itself had other things to repair also.
Is an assault on black folks' humanity, their ethnic and cultural identity, and is downright inhumane.
Well, the Smithsonian responded to the concerns about Brown's artifacts, saying that the loan agreement had expired. It was returning them to him. The timing came weeks after the president's executive order to remove what he calls improper ideology from Smithsonian museums, although some reports connected the two. The Smithsonian says that's not the case.
A New York Times investigation shedding new light on that deadly mid-air collision on January 29th over the Potomac River.
It's revealing what may have gone wrong in the moments leading up to the crash.
DC News Now's Haley Milon spoke to some experts about those findings. So, Haley, what exactly stood out in this?
Yeah, guys, it was a lot of shocking information, a lot at play here. The New York Times investigation says that poor communication, pilot error, and an overworked controller managing two roles leading to the collision of an American Airlines regional jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter. That incident killing all 67 people on board the 2 aircraft.
One little event doesn't line up, then there's no accident.
Aviation litigator Jim Brockley says multiple things went wrong ahead of the January 29th crash over the Potomac River, the deadliest in the U.S. in decades, killing 67 people. This week, a New York Times investigation revealing layers of missteps. Just after 8:40 p.m., the 3-person Black Hawk crew conducting a training mission, flying at an altitude of higher than 200 feet, too high for the high traffic corridor, also operating without an ADS-B or real-time locating device, which is standard for Army crews conducting secretive missions. An air traffic controller working double duty due to a tower staffing shortage granted the Black Hawk crew visual separation, allowing pilots to navigate by sight. In Brockley's mind, a dangerous modality during an urban nighttime flight.
It's just kind of ripe for disaster.
The passenger jet approached a rarely used runway, something the Times report claims could have blindsided the Black Hawk pilot. Transmission data show that the controller asked the helicopter to pass behind the jet. Cockpit recordings suggest that radio chatter obstructed that critical instruction. The Army flight instructor told the pilot to turn left, but for unknown reasons, the Black Hawk didn't turn, colliding with the jet 15 seconds later.
At any time, he could have took over and maneuvered it out of the way.
Brockley says the airspace congestion must be addressed.
It's just been by kind of dumb luck that we haven't had a tragedy sooner.
And that helicopter route is now closed to virtually all traffic for now. The NTSB is set to share a final report on the cause of the crash in 2026. I'm Haley Bylov. Back to you.